Live streaming is on.
So for our purpose and everything, you said that you wanted to, edit this and clean it up a little.
Yeah, I think
Brainstorm more.
we could. I don't know if it makes sense. I mean, but more centered on just the purpose, because here is also the criteria, right? We wanna try to just the purpose. Like, for example, professional but still community and grassroots oriented. That's more a criteria. While present the work and vision of FQN, but in a way that the public can understand, that's something that could it's applicable to the purpose. Right?
Yeah, I disagree. I feel like the criteria and the purpose of the website is very clear, and that all makes sense. I think that what you're talking about would be the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Would be I would cast the question: what purpose is our story telling us? That would be the question.
Okay.
So, for example, if you looked at what I wrote, I believe in the previous section.
Yeah.
So here's our story. So I'm gonna copy and paste the story.
Okay.
Well, this is like part of our story, right?
All
So
right.
what purpose is this story telling us? So if we are the umbrella showcase website launch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our goal, right? And going back to our goals, right? Our goal is to showcase our programs and activities, right? Within the vortex / network / mode, etc., right?
Yeah.
So therefore, the purpose is, and I guess the other goal is to connect all the dots, right? Connect the dots between the other active websites so that the public can understand our story. So the purpose would be laid out in these connections, right? So, for example, our purpose includes, so, possible brainstormed purpose, right? So our purpose could include, empowerment in our co-op, right? If we're going to include our co-op, right? It includes, getting help with your basic life necessities. So getting help starting a cause or social-based organization. Uh, Getting what else do we do? We do hiring client professional client services. So basically
I like.
purchasing professional client services to
I,
get your organization a step ahead, right?
yeah, I like very much the sentence that you use. Set your social project or I don't know. I mean, your venture. Set your social project or venture up for success. Like that very much. Right.
Yeah. So set your venture or social project up for success.
Yeah.
Right, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm just listing basically all of the sub purposes of the showcase, right? So here are all the websites. I mean, eventually we want to bring in the planetary the planetary sessions, which obviously relates to empowerment as well. Need some water. So basically you have a list of sub purposes. So then the next step from here is answering this question: what is the purpose what purpose is our story telling us? So if you combine all this together, and if you combine our story together, that you can do all of these things simultaneously, what does it all mean together? What is the purpose of the umbrella website launch in relationship to the fact that you're uniting all of these different, in essence, sub purposes together? What do they equate to? What is all of this together equate to? If we can answer that question, there we have it, you know?
Yeah.
So first thing is that, are we missing anything? Are we missing any particular purpose? You know, so let's make a list over here on the side, you know, potentially missing. So obviously we have planetary sessions.
Yeah.
So the planetary sessions are missing. And so the question is, is that okay to have them missing, or is there something bad there? But I think we covered everything else. So right now, let's just list the actual showcase websites. So list of showcase websites. So then that'll make us be able to do the checklist, you know, website. So we know we want to showcase SVG. We know we want to showcase
Sponsorship.
sponsorship.
We want to showcase the
Non-profit.
Or alliance.
the unity theory
Methodology.
methodology.
So I would say the co-op / methodology, you know, is all related.
Yeah.
So for me, that might be our, you know, I think that's another thing that we want to add to our purpose. Like if you go into the co-op and the methodology, so the one of the purposes of the co-op is to empower people, but it's not just to empower people. It's also the direction that we've been going is to set up future generations with tools and resources for empowerment, right? Which means that we want to be a resource line, and our co-op and methodology will be available to future generations, right? Which is a very interesting purpose,
Yeah.
because how does that relate to people going to the website and people who are alive now? So it's like it's an interesting component of our story, but I think a very important one. That our primary goal, if we are not successful now, is to set up future generations for success. That is our goal, and we
Yeah.
believe it's possible, and we don't necessarily know if it's possible to transform the world now, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yes.
could be possible. I mean, basically, our entire model in relationship to the like in terms of our methodologies, the primary model is the caterpillar to the butterfly. And in that being our model, the transformation model takes very little time. So it's basically we're waiting for the society to be ready to transform. And then when we're all ready, it happens, right? And so it's obviously not happening now. So we have to wait for a future generation to do it. And so that could happen in a year from now. It could happen in 10 years from now. It could happen 5 years from now, or it could be multiple, 100 years from now. We don't know exactly how long it will take. But the bottom line is that transformation is what we're proposing as the methodology.
Okay.
And when it actually happens, it'll happen very quickly, right? It's not a linear progression. Like our model is not linear, right? So it can happen very, very quickly and very, like, the general population doesn't even necessarily need to know it's happening. It can happen on like a backdrop, it can happen on the back end. So it barely affects your existing day-to-day life. It just, affects landfills and like waste systems and, general, processes. So, anyways, I think we're pretty good in terms of understanding the list of showcase websites, right? Is there anything we're missing? I think there was 5, right? SVG, sponsorship, support alliance, co-op methodology. Wasn't there one more?
Sponsor Support Alliance, COP methodology.
I guess the 5th one was just the umbrella website itself, which is what we're talking about now.
Scholarship.
Sponsorship.
Scholarship.
No, we're not. We might include it later. Yeah.
Scholarship.
What is it? What is it?
Scholarship.
What's our
Scholarship. I guess I don't understand. Another thing that we're missing is maybe fundraising. Fundraising. Scholarship. I guess I don't understand what you're talking about. Scholarship? I just don't get it. Is that something that's potentially missing? Like, what is it that you're talking about? Scholarship.
The website. The showcase website you said.
What is? Yeah, but what is the? What are you talking about? What are you adding? I didn't hear you.
Is scholarship.
Scholarship. Like, what is that? What is scholarship? It's a word. Can you explain it in a sentence?
That is scholarship is
I might be disconnected for a minute, guys. Just 1 minute.
Okay.
scholarship. Yes, it's something free, you know. Free.
Right, but we offer lots of free stuff. But we're talking about entire websites and programs that we're showcasing on the website. Like, if you're not discussing an actual program, then I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like financial aid.
I guess I'm just not sure what you're talking about. Like, we don't have a financial aid program. Like, I don't know what program you're discussing. You want to start a financial aid program?
No, we have these scholarships, right? So that's what I'm talking about.
You're talking about
So
SVG. SVG has scholarships, but that's under SVG.
Okay.
SVG nonprofit. Right?
Non-profit, yeah.
So again, for that is getting help in getting professional client services for your organization. You know, setting up your venture project for success. So that's already covered. All right. So if we can't think of any other sub purposes, let's go back to the question. Like, if we fit all of this together, what is it that we are doing? I mean, I can think of so umbrella purpose, right? So now we're going into the idea of the umbrella purpose options, right?
Okay.
So, for example, obviously we want to transform our society, right? That's part of what we were trying to do as one option, but that might be too broad and too much for society. Like, this might not meet our criteria of easily understandable, right? So maybe something a little bit more, obviously we want to help people.
Yeah.
We want to help as much. We want to
improve the life of people, of everyday people on our planet, right? Everyday people on our planet.
Yeah, we wanna support as many social causes to be successful.
Yes, we want to support as many social causes to be successful, which is related to in essence, our org support and our sponsorship. Yeah, all of it really relates to organizations being successful. Yes. Yeah, but for what end, right? So I think this is really good. And then for what end would be,
well, it relates to transforming society.
Yeah, to see
to have a better world.
Better. I always like to say, a better place for future generations and existing people and animals across the planet. I also like to use the term, getting specific, to trillions of future generations of people and animals across the planet, right? That it's just like, we're talking about trillions of lives, right? Trillions of lives in future generations. And we're talking about billions of people who exist today, right?
Yeah.
People who exist today and trillions of animals that exist today, right?
Yeah. Then what you said before, yeah, to give a tool that can be used also in the future to accomplish this or to aim at these purposes. We want to create something that we want to create something that can be used in the future as well.
Yeah, I guess you're right that this future one is kind of applicable to the bigger picture umbrella as well.
Right. Exactly, for sure. We want to improve life experience of everyday people on our planet, but we also want to, what are we saying? We want to minimize the barriers between the elites and the everyday people, right? Because we want to.
It sounds very specific.
Yeah, I mean, like with our co-op, right? With our co-op.
Most organizing models and methodologies involve ignoring the elite, right? Because like there's so much focus on the elite, you know, with Occupy and like so many movements that basically put all this energy focusing on the elite and the rich of the rich. And in many ways, it just empowers them because it's putting more and more energy into the people you're quote fighting against or whatever. Our model is like in essence the opposite. You just ignore them, and you just organize society for the people, and the billionaires go away. Right? You don't need to like focusing on the billionaires isn't necessarily going to solve our problems. You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm not focusing on the billionaires. I'm focusing on our co-op. Like, for example, what's very cool about our model is that, for example, we allow everybody to. Now it's the only limit. The only actual limit is obviously the English, right? But this is something that we already know that we want to create a way that all languages can be addressed. But the point that's very cool about our model is
I don't think that's I wouldn't say that's necessarily a limitation. It's just like we're limited based on our budget. We're limited based on the fact that we only have 24 hours in a day. We're limited on the fact that, we have to take care of ourselves and our families, and we have other, priorities and other things that we have to do. So, I mean, all these things are limitations, but language, we have a model and a plan for expanding and scaling between languages. Like, that's not a problem. It's just needs to be implemented, right? So I don't think that it's our only limitation. I think we have lots of limitations and we have lots of models of how to overcome those limitations. We just are not there yet.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. We have a lot of limitations, but I mean something that I think it's very cool and can also be a good point for donations is that we have like how is it like a passive work environment, meaning that when we're going to be successful, right? Everybody basically in the world can quickly come to our session or become a equity only or crypto only paid worker, so that they can do easy tasks that we train them very quickly. In a couple of minutes they're already trained, they can already do some very easy tasks, and they would get an extra income very easily through our cryptos, our tokens, which I believe is very cool. This is one of the coolest things that we want to accomplish.
So we're easily scalable to support, as many people who want to get involved, even billions, and can issue value and rewards for contributions. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, or like you come to our planetary session for Jupiter, and you get for 1 hour, you get, I don't know, 600, 700 of the tokens that we want
I'm
to
pretty sure.
set.
Pretty sure we missed. I'm pretty sure we missed the Jupiter session. I think I mentioned the other week.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, which is really sad. You know, like we've never missed a Jupiter session, but that just goes to show like how bad we are at doing anything right now. You know, we're just not really like
Yeah, the Jupiter
trying.
session was January 20th.
Yeah, so it's very, very unfortunate that we're not even trying to even deal with like the biggest of the big sessions, and it's just like we're just like whatever, screw it.
Yeah, we missed.
So yeah, I think that's the only one we've ever missed. So it's pretty sad. Anyways,
It's once every 2 years, right?
So,
it's once every 6.
so
Every 6 years.
Yeah, Jupiter session happens once every 6 years. The Saturn session happens
yeah.
once every like 12 or 14 years.
Okay.
So that would have been like the third or fourth. I think it would have been like the fourth Jupiter session, the third or fourth one. So we did 3 in a row and then we missed one. Yeah. All right. Anyways, going
so
on here. Uh, I feel like these are good points. I feel like they're getting a little far from the actual purpose. And so I just want to throw out a couple ideas here in relationship to, you know, some of our missions that we were working with in the past, right? Which I think are applicable to our story.
Oh my god. What is
it's
it?
our
I
break,
destroying my ear.
our break time.
Oh, okay. So why don't we take a little break and then I was gonna add some
Can you
details
stop it?
on our
Wait,
list
I
of
cannot.
Can you
I
stop?
don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, this is very.
All right, so let's take a 5-minute break. And then when we get back, I want to go through just some of our old mission statements that will help us, get gauge where we're at and how we want to connect all these dots together. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right. 5 minute. 5 minute break then.
Okay.
I'm back.
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes.
so I listed some of these previous mission statements that we have. Oh wait, also we need to reset